Hello and welcome everybody to today's live commodity market analysis with the Gold and Silver Club, presented by myself, Phil Carr. So today we will be going through the latest developments in the commodity markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodity markets. We'll be covering the top trades of the week. We'll also cover live market commentary and technical analysis. And of course, as always, we'll keep it nice and interactive. So we'll be going through any questions or comments you might have just throughout the session as well. So first of all, before we get started, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. We are an international commodities trading research and advisory group. We specialize in the precious metals, the energies and the agricultural markets. We are recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodities, and as internationally respected experts, our analysis and opinions on the metals, the energies, the agricultural markets routinely sought by major financial television channels, publications which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review and the Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 75,000 private traders worldwide. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do go ahead, guys, and visit our website, www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, super. So we'll have a look at the gold price at the moment. So we've had a terrific breakout in price over the course of today and this week as well. We're currently trading at $1,236 per ounce. So we've had some huge breakouts, up 16% so far this year on gold, currently sitting above 9-month highs. So we've had some significant moves to the upside, which we'll go through very shortly with you. Before I do that, I'll cover the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club as signature trading strategies. So first of all, we've had a nice trade opportunity, which we were in for a couple of weeks, actually, the sell short on sugar, which we were in from the 25th of January, which broke down really nicely, giving us a return of over 170 points as it started to roll over and then broke through major support. We also caught a lovely breakout trade last week to the upside on platinum, which delivered over 407 points as it came up right up towards the end of its resistance channel after it retested support. And our outstanding trade, really our top trade over the course of the last month, has been our gold trade. So we entered into a gold buy at the beginning of January, which we entered into on the 4th of January, entering at $1,077 per ounce to take advantage of the January effect. It's a trade that we are still in at the moment. We continue to trail up our stop loss on this trade. You can see currently this trade is sitting at more than 4.5 to 1. We're currently in this trade up over 1,420 points at the moment. So it's been a tremendous breakout to the upside. We continue to stay in this trade. We've benefited actually from the pop again over the last couple of hours as gold is trading at $1,238 per ounce. We've had a beautiful trade to take advantage of this typical January effect, and we've just had good momentum over the course of February so far as well. So what I shall do, I will go over to the live technicals. If there are any questions at all during the course of the session, guys, do keep me updated in the chat function, so I'll be able to see all of your questions just in the chat function. Let me just type in there so you can all see my details there. So if there are any questions or comments at all as we go through each market, do keep those coming if there's any questions on the technicals, and we can certainly discuss those. Okay, so the first market we'll start off with at the moment is going to be the gold market. So gold, of course, nice breakout again today. Good follow through on this market. Now, at the moment, I would really look at some key levels. So first of all, I would draw your attention to the monthly chart. Right now, we're sitting at $1,238 per ounce. So we're right at a major zone on the monthly. You can see we've been really moving between those trend channels going back to beginning of December 2013 all the way up to our current prices at the moment. That trend channel has held key resistance, key support. Now, where we're sat at the moment, we are getting quite overextended for gold right now. If you go over to the weekly charts here, this indicator here just allows us really to see how overextended we are on the market, and we're getting into definitely overbought territory. But it's been like that for a couple of days now as we've continued to rise towards the upper end of this key resistance channel just sitting overhead. So you'll note there was quite a lot of resistance on this zone going back to 2014, sitting around 1,240 US dollars per ounce. So it's certainly been a significant breakout over the course of this week. So what I want to have a look at here is going to be the next real key levels that you can anticipate as resistance. So there is a Fibonacci level sitting currently at 1,245 US dollars per ounce. We have managed to break through a couple of significant zones there. So certainly you can see actually where the momentum has really picked up since we broke and closed above the 200-day moving average last week. We've really built up a lot of momentum. So that 200 MA was sitting around 1,130 US dollars per ounce. Since we've broken above that level, we've seen over 1,000-point move to the upside. So it's been significant. Where we're sat right now, you've got overhead resistance sitting at 1,245 US dollars per ounce. And what I'd be very interested today is whether we'll get a close above this zone or not. So whether gold will hold on to some of its gains or whether we start to see some profit taking later on this afternoon. So we do have Janet Yellen testifying again this afternoon, which certainly caused some volatility in the markets just yesterday, and that resulted in some breakouts to the upside. Later on in the afternoon, the stock markets, if we just have a look at the inverse correlation right now, if we have a look at the equities, you can see, for example, the Dow Jones, the breakdown that we've had this week, we're coming back towards this major supportive channel from August, where we broke down significantly over Black Monday in August, where we had a tremendous sell-off. And we're not far from those real key levels now. We came back for a retest of that in January, and we're not too far away from those key levels of support. So we're watching the inverse correlation very shortly there. Another market I want to draw your attention to right now, in fact, we are looking at this for a short-term sell, is Brent crude oil and light sweet crude oil. So first of all, let's go over to light sweet crude oil. So what you'll note here is that light sweet crude oil has now broken through its previous swing low. So we seem to have a dead cat bounce here, where we've essentially had a false rally here. We did have a significant move at the end of January. We moved over 20% to the upside. It was a significant rally from sitting at a low $27 per barrel, rallying all the way up to the highs here of $34.80 per barrel. But at this level of resistance, it couldn't really follow through. It's since rolled over, broke our supportive channel this week, and this is where we have started to take advantage of this downward momentum. So at the moment, we got a break. What was important last night is we got a break and a close below major support. You see that level there where we closed at 27.23. That's a pretty bearish signal. And subsequently, we started to break down in price already. So at the moment, this looks to be a bear flag formation, which we've formed over here on oil. We've just broken through the lows here, broken through the swing low, and we can expect more downside in the short term. Ideally, we're targeting at the moment around $25 in the short term, $25 per barrel, and also we've got a key level of support just lower there, 24.18. If we go over to Brent, which we do have a sell short on as well right now, we're looking just to take out yesterday's low, also the previous day's low, and just take it down to the next level of support there, which is sitting at about 28.36. So just get a nice quick sell short here. Again, looks like we've got a bear flag formation, a failed rally. You've got key support. Just need to get a little bit of a crack and break below $30 in order to get follow through on that at the moment with Brent. So keeping an eye on that. Now, do note gold is still rocketing. So if we go over and have a look at gold, you can see gold is really going for it. 1,200. What's the daily high at the moment? 1,242 US dollars per ounce. So we've seen an incredible breakout so far today on gold. We continue to be in this trade from the 4th of January. So far, gold here up 16% on the year, so breaking now above 9-month highs. So it's been a tremendous breakout with gold. The big question is whether this will follow through right into the close today, and how high will gold be able to go today with this momentum? It's tremendous breakout. Your typical day-to-day volatility on gold, you're looking at an average point movement of in the zone of 200 to 250 points per day. So at the moment, you can see from the lows to the highs, it's already moved just shy of 480 points, which is a tremendous move for the gold market. So it's definitely building up a lot of momentum at the upper end of this trend channel at the moment. Again, the next key levels of support I would look at are 1,240. Key levels of resistance are 1,245 US dollars per ounce here. And it will be very important on gold to see whether it does get a close above this major level of resistance here as well. Now, what you want to note when you're looking at gold is the correlations. So you also want to have a look at silver, which I know silver has just come up and retested its 300-day moving average, which was a very key level of resistance going back to the end of October 2018. 2015. You can see where we've also getting into overbought territory right now. It's struggling a little bit at that zone of resistance. Certainly gold has had a bigger move over the course of this week, but you can see here where silver is attempting to break out from resistance. Again, if you go over to the weekly charts here, we are coming up to a key level of resistance. If you look at the monthly charts here on silver, you can also see you've got this pennant formation just overhead as well, which we've just about cracked above. We've cracked towards the upper end of this trend channel at the moment from that major supportive zone, which did hold a trend channel going all the way back to May 2003, bounced off that level in 2008. We did hold on to that level at 13.61. It's $2 off that level at the moment. So the big question really is whether we'll follow through from these levels this afternoon, or whether we'll start to see some profit taking and potentially a pullback. I would, at the moment, I'm treating pullbacks as buying opportunities on the metals. So whether that's gold, silver, or platinum, any pullbacks right now are buy opportunities. It is certainly overdue, a bit of a corrective pullback at the moment, and an opportunity to get back in. If we look at platinum, platinum has come all the way back up to the upper end of its trend channel, also broken above some key moving averages. It's starting to potentially get overbought here as well. It's definitely an overbought territory. This rejection candle was a little bit stronger earlier on today, but I am looking again for buying opportunities here. Any pullbacks at the moment I'm treating as buying opportunities for the metals. So if it does pull back towards the lower end of this zone, we'll look to buy at that level. So I would definitely just keep an eye out for that on platinum, on silver, and on gold as well. I want to see really with whether gold here can continue the momentum and get above its critical level of resistance here, 1245, whether it will break and close above that level. On a weekly chart here, it really, if it can break above, if it can continue to hold above these levels, it will be breaking, closing above major resistance, and it will be starting to see the technical charts turn from bearish to neutral if it holds above this zone. But it is still liable. It could still rotate lower here. If you go back to the monthly channels here, it could still find resistance at these levels here, right at the upper end of the trend channel, and ultimately pull back significantly. So we're definitely at an important event area for gold. A decision time, 1240 to 1250 zone is a very key level of resistance. So we'll definitely continue to watch the gold market very closely this afternoon, and we'll just continue to trail up our stop loss, which we've got on gold right now from our 4th of January entry, which we continue to stay in. We've had no signal really to close out of that trade since the beginning of January. So we continue to be in this move, which has been beautiful. So we'll just move it over now to have a look at the grains. Now, I do quite like the overall price structure of wheat at the moment. If you do trade the grains, I would definitely suggest you want to take a look at this. You look at the weekly chart, we had a retest of major support over this week. We rejected from this level of support, sitting at 455. Nice little hammer developing on the weekly chart. So what I'm looking at here is for good follow through. We're tending just to see wheat ricochet between support and resistance. So I'm really looking for a rotation back up towards the upper end of this trend channel. So we're sitting currently at key support. You can see here on the chart where we've had a nice bounce between 450 and going up to 460 is definitely the supportive layer that we've got here on wheat. It's come for a retest. We had a nice little rejection candle form earlier on in the week on Tuesday. Yesterday broke above, closed above the high, and today we're starting to pick up the pace again. So I'm looking for good follow through here back towards the upper end of the horizontal resistance channel over the course of next week as well. So do keep that in mind as well. There's potentially a nice opportunity lining up here for wheat right now. A nice trade idea. Now, if you go over and have a look at soybeans also consolidating at major support. If you have a look here at the weekly chart, soybeans, ultimately you've got a nice bit of support sitting around the 855 zone. You've got a nice rejection candle starting to develop. Now, soybeans tends to just move between support and resistance. So you tend to see this ricocheting between support and resistance. We've been in this pattern going back to August 2015. So I want to see whether we'll get supported again here at the 857 zone. And if we do, whether we'll just rotate back towards the upper end of this trend channel. Now, the moving averages on any market, they tend to be less significant where you've got a market which is channeling sideways. So where you've got very strong trend channels, as I'm sure a lot of you know, the moving averages are far more significant. But where you've got a market which is just channeling sideways, they have much less impact here. You'll see how well soybeans is just managing to crack above and below its moving averages really easily. So definitely one to have on the radar as well is soybeans. Coffee, we actually identified this trade opportunity last week. We hit our profit target. So we'd mentioned that we came back down to a very key supportive layer on coffee. We rallied back up just shy of the 200 MA, hit our profit target dead on actually at 123. We've since seen a bit of rejection at that zone. We're coming back down to support. You can see here the last couple of days worth of lows are starting to break lower, and we're looking here. You've got the buy zone sitting at the lower end of this indicator, so I'm looking for the price just to come back down to about 111.50 here, and at that zone we've got alerts set, and we'll be looking for opportunities to buy once we get down to that level. So waiting for the price to come to us for coffee at the moment, so waiting for that to happen. My alert will go off and we'll look at a potential buy opportunity if we see coffee get down back towards that supportive layer. So definitely one to keep an eye on is going to be coffee as well. Now, just bring it out to natural gas. You can see natural gas, you've got the storage inventories coming out a little bit later on today. We do have a bit of a trend channel which is developing now on natural gas. You can see where it's moving just between support and resistance at the moment. You've got a downward trending channel. So I'm keeping an eye on this today. It has been fairly erratic, natural gas, recently. So I want to see whether we'll either get a retracement back up to resistance here or whether we'll follow through. Ultimately, I'm looking for a break of 1954 and a close below that level to see more momentum to the downside and then coming back down to the lower end of its channel. We're not quite there yet. I'm waiting for a better quality setup at the moment on natural gas, but I do like the overall price structure. Now, moving over to Brent, I think we've been triggered into our second trade now. Now we're breaking below this. We've got a key level of support here. We've just broken below yesterday's low and also below Tuesday's low. So you see this move. I'm looking for just a clean break back down to the next support here. So that is representing, we've literally, I just got my alert. We've been triggered into this. So 180 point move I'm looking for. Now, if we break $30 per barrel, that looks quite good. So why am I shorting at these levels for oil? Well, essentially, it's you've got a bear flag formation. You can see all the moving averages are rolling over. You've got a doji indecision candle yesterday. We've broken below the swing low here. There's a fair amount of clean air for it to break down. And if you have a look also at the correlation here with light sweet crude oil, you will note if you go over to light sweet that it's broken through that very key level of support previously. So you've now got a dead cat bounce developing. We've broken through that swing low, and there's certainly the potential to break down significantly lower. The stock market is selling off, certainly US equities, and gold is still breaking out. So gold is sitting at 1,240 US dollars. So we could potentially anticipate more downside here on oil over the course of today. Now, a bit of a wild card again will be Janet Yellen doing the testimony later on this afternoon. So we certainly saw some volatility on that yesterday. Gold is really starting to break out to the upside significantly at the moment. We're seeing a huge move. So it's currently sitting at 1,239 US dollars per ounce. But again, I see there's a nice potential for a quick day trade here on Brent crude oil, which is starting to crack through support. It just needs to start breaking below the $30 per barrel, we can start to pick up momentum and come back down. Obviously, if it has the same move that light sweet crude oil, which is slightly ahead of Brent in terms of this sell-off, it would need to break down about 300 points before breaking its swing low and then moving much lower here. So I'm looking out for those opportunities at the moment. I'll just bring you over. I just want to go over to a few charts for you just on the longer term charts right now. So I'll just show you some of the oversold conditions. I see silver is coming right up to a major level of resistance for me. So I do see this as being in quite a strong overbought condition, but we're really monitoring to see how much further this will break out. I want to see where it closes the week as well. That'll be very important. You can see on the weekly here, the weekly chart for gold currently trading at 1,239. Again, I want to see where this closes out the day. It's getting super overextended at the moment. I want to just see how much further this will rally before we start to see some profit taking. So I'm keeping a very close eye on both gold and silver. If we go over and just have a look at oil here, oil, I see the potential for more downside. It's broken below its previous swing low. I see it coming down potentially to around $25 per barrel in the short term there, and then below that, the next real significant level will be looking at eyeing up $20 per barrel as well. If we go over to light sweet crude oil, also I see light sweet crude oil turning. So we've got a breakdown again. Oh, sorry, Brent crude oil. In this example, this is a trade that we're in at the moment. I see this potentially coming down and retesting its lows here of 27. I see on, this is just on the weekly time frame, I can see here where it's rolling over again. Looks like again it's just going to, it's formed here on the weekly charts, just you can see a bearish flag formation. It's just come back up to the 50-day moving average, a failed rally again. You can see this overlying resistance here. So if I just draw on this trend channel, you can see quite simply here where it's come back up to the upper end of resistance, not really been able to crack through that, and now it's heading back lower again. So certainly expecting some short-term downside there on oil at the moment. Just a quick one. I'll go over. I'll just go over a question relating to oil. So yeah, we do have this trade on at the moment. Let me actually see if I can bring that out for you, if possible. Okay, yeah, just going back to our gold trade actually, yeah, so you can actually see, I mean, I talked about that at the start, but step by step where we've taken this trade. I mean, we've been monitoring this every single stage of the way. So you can see here, this is a trade setup shared on our private members academy. So you can see it's not just a case of going retrospectively on the chart there. This is a trade that we've been in since the beginning of January. We continue to update that as the trade. We continue to follow that every single week, and now it's getting towards the upper end of this channel. You can see now we're up over 1,420 points, but we've been in this every single stage of the way since going back to the beginning of January here. So it's been a beautiful breakout, and if those of you who are still in gold, well done, because it's really been a beautiful trade opportunity. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just share with you a trade that we currently got at the moment. So I've just got a trade on oil at the moment, which have been triggered into. That's just a Brent crude oil trade. So that is again another setup which we just provided for all of our traders at the Gold and Silver Club, part of our private traders club. I'll just show you that. In fact, before we just continue with the rest of the technicals, if you would like to get access to the private traders club and the trade alerts that we provide, join us for our live trading rooms throughout the week, and also get access to our trading course and our week ahead trading plans. Very simply, all you need to do is go to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Okay, so it's www.theprivatetradersclub.com. From there, you will see, so you've got various sections here. You get included with that, you get live trade setups. So all the trades that we're taking with exact entry, exit, take profit, target are all shared. Trade management on trades as we're utilizing, we're moving stop losses, take profit. The management of all of those trades as well, it's all very transparent. It's all sent out via email. When a trade triggers, you get the notification as well. So it really helps you to really be nimble in the markets and take advantage of all the opportunities. We also provide a master markets trading course. So all of our traders who join us can go step by step through the modules, every single module, from setting up your charts to risk management, which is of course very important, to all the indicators that we use, the strategies that we utilize in the market, how to take advantage of fundamentals, how to take advantage of technicals, how to analyze the markets, how to use seasonality to get an edge in your trading. A very comprehensive commodities trading course that you can get access to as well. Of course, you also get access to our live trading rooms throughout the week. So when we're hosting a live trading room, you can join us for those sessions. They get recorded as well, so you can rewatch those sessions as many times as you like, and you get access to our VIP email support line as well. So again, just very simply, if you would like to find out more about that, it is just a case of going to www.theprivatetradersclub.com, and you can get more information there. Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do, I'll just bring it back to the charts again. So as I say, I see oil potential for a good sell short, quick sell short down to the next support here for Brent crude oil. You can see light sweet crude oil is already breaking down. We're seeing this inverse correlation at the moment with the gold market in particular, as well as it relates to equities. As we've seen equities sell off, we've seen more funds going into gold. As again, we've seen a significant breakout over the last 24 hours. So I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll just go over. I don't think there's any additional questions at this point. If there are, do let me know in the chat function there. I'll just do a quick summary for you. So again, in summary, the major trade opportunities that we see over the course of today: Brent crude oil for a quick sell short opportunity. We see a breakdown. We're seeing light sweet crude oil already take out its key swing low and 12-year lows. So as that continues to break down and form a dead cat bounce, we're looking for follow through now on Brent crude oil, which is just sitting around key support, waiting for it now just to break $30 per barrel to get good follow through. So I see Brent as a good trading opportunity. As I mentioned, WTI crude oil is already breaking below its swing low on the left there, so we're expecting potentially more downside back towards the $25 per barrel zone. It's starting to pick up momentum. Had a very important close yesterday. It closed below this key support. That was a very key signal that we could be heading much lower here for oil. Now, in terms of the precious metals, gold, it is getting quite overextended at the moment. As I mentioned, really, you've got Fibonacci at 1245 at the moment, sitting at 1236. You've got this key level of resistance above, which if it breaks and closes, if it continues to rally and close above those zones, we could see more upside in the coming week. It is getting super overextended at the moment. We should see some profit taking by the end of the week. I would expect some profit taking here, but it's dependent as well on the comments from Janet Yellen's testimony this afternoon as well. We've had a big move today, 470-point move, almost double what gold's normal day-to-day volatility is here. We've come all the way up to major resistance. So we'll see, very curious to see where gold is going to close out the day. If it was to see, if we were to see a big sell-off on gold today, it would potentially produce a big rejection candle, which might be a good indicator that we could start to see a bit of a short-term pullback. But if it closes around the daily highs, then that's very promising for gold to build up further momentum to the upside as we head into next week as well. So decision time a bit here for gold. In terms of, we've got a longer term position on gold. I'm not looking to add to that at the moment. It's still looking good. It's getting quite overextended for any fresh entries right now. 470-point breakout to the upside today. It's quite late to get into a fresh entry on that at the moment. But if we have a look at silver, similar situation, sitting around key resistance, looking at pullback opportunities for buying. So if it pulls back towards the lower end of its trend channels, we're looking for buying opportunities on pullback. Same situation really with platinum at the moment. If it pulls back towards the lower end of the trend channel, it is overextended to the buy side. We'll look at buying opportunities there as well. And finally, if we just move it out, have a look at the grains again, I see an opportunity here for wheat as well, coming right off the lower end of a major support zone. Horizontal support sitting around 460 here. It's starting to build up a nice little base around that level. So I'm looking just for a rotation back towards key resistance there as well. And you can also look for the correlations on corn and also on soybeans too. Okay, fantastic. So I don't think there's any more questions on the technicals at the moment, guys. So as I mentioned before, if you would like to find out more information about the Gold and Silver Club and the Private Traders Club, very simply, all you need to do is go across to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. From there, you can get access to, all you actually need to do once you go on there is complete the application and the enrollment form. We'll get in touch with you ASAP, and you'll get access to Master Markets training course, live trade setups, live technical analysis videos, a week ahead trading plan, and of course email support as well. So again, the enrollment there, just very simply www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Membership is by application only, and I really look forward to working with those of you who will be joining us. Okay, fantastic. So with that, guys, I will hand back to Dinda, and we'll make it a wrap for now. Okay, thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you all on the next one. Thank you all. Cheers. Bye-bye.